Hefty's the name, shiny hunting's my game. Gotta catch 'em all, nothing's ever the same. With my trusty football, I'm always on the spree. No shiny can escape, they all come to me. Shiny after shiny, it's never enough. I'm on a quest, and it can get rough. From Palatown to Johto and beyond, I'm the shiny hunter, the bond is strong. I've caught 'em all, every shiny you can name. Kanto region, Johto region, I've conquered the game. Hefty is the king, the one who never quits. Caught 'em twice, now that's the real deal. No tricks. I conquered the game. Hefty's the king, the one who never quits. Caught him twice, now that's the real deal. No tricks.
Hi everybody, happy Saturday. Good to see you. What's up, Ivo? What's up, John Strucker? What's up, Johto Jerry? What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. It is Saturday. We made it through another week. This is a good thing. And I don't know what the heck is going on with my chat today. I cannot pin the like goal. I cannot even retract the like goal. All I can do is go to channel, put user in timeout, or hide user on the channel. I know I shouldn't. I'm kind of curious what happens if I hit hide user on the channel on my message. I can do it with other people, so I guess someone else give me a like goal. Someone else give me a like goal so I can pin it. Tyler, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Enjoy the Animal Crossing New Horizons, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, and Grounded. What's up, Anne Marie? YouTube do be bugging. It be true. It be true indeed. How's everyone doing? How was the week? What did you get into? What do you want to talk about? Let's have some conversations today. Thank you, John. Yeah, I don't know why I can't do anything with my own messages, except, you know, hide me from the channel. I don't know why I would ban myself from my own channel, but that is an option, but pinning my message is not. I hope we get the shiny Corsola today. I am over it. I'm also over odds by almost 300. If we don't get it on this batch or the next batch, we will be over 300 eggs over odds, which is a lot of eggs. That's too many eggs. But, oh, John, thank you. Thank you. Yep, I got this Penn State mug from Penn State when I went there September of 24 for my old roommate's bachelor party weekend. And the coffee tastes good out of it. How are we doing on eggs? I already lost track. You guys know how I am. I cannot keep track of how many eggs I've collected. I need 2 more. 2 more eggs. I really want to get this Corsola so we can get started on the Blipbug hunt. I'm so jealous that Anne-Marie has Blipbug and I don't. You think they revealed Fire Red Leaf Green because of the leaks and accidental shop release and was supposed to be on Pokemon Day? I do. Anne-Marie. I do. I could totally be wrong. I have no inside knowledge. It's all speculation. But the announcement was so bizarre in the rollout that I do feel like they weren't intending to announce that at, you know, middle of the night, Thursday night. Well, I'm not being honest when I say I'm doing good when I think about it now. Change that to I'm doing okay, and I'm worried about my grandpa. He fell. He has a 2.5-inch lip. Oh, Tyler, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it turns out to be benign. I hope they take care of it. And I appreciate you getting that off your chest. But no, I'm sorry to hear that, Tyler. Remember when you guys were a kid and you had that little thing, you had that for Christmas and you lost your Charizard. I'm sorry to hear that, the three kids. Did you ever find the Charizard? You're excited for Fire Red Leaf Green probably more than any Gen 10 announcement. Holy smokes, John, you are excited. Hope I get this so I can get my Shiny Bug. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I want to be cool like you and have Shiny Blipbug. That's my goal. You had it for your starter, got it for that, then your sister deleted it. What the heck? That's why I'm glad I don't have any sisters, so that they don't delete my Pokemon. What's up, Lacey? How you doing? How was your week? Literally just found out about yesterday around 6 p.m., so it's fairly recently discovered. Gotcha. Well, you know, this might sound a little harsh, and if it does, I apologize. But a wise man once told me that worrying about something doesn't change the outcome. I know that's a lot easier said than done, but you know, hopefully you'll hear back some news fairly shortly. And I think it's just like one of those things, like there's no reason to worry about it until there's reason to worry about it. You know what I mean? You had a lucky week. Tell me about it. And Skulls of the Cats, what's up? So yeah, I'm very sorry to hear it. I just hope I hope that you get some good news soon, Tyler. And in the meantime, I hope you don't let it weigh too heavily on your mind until there's a reason to, right? You know what I mean? But keep us up to date, if you want to. Obviously, it's your own private business, but we're all thinking about you and your grandpa. All right, let's get this shiny. I know I'm just not ready if it does happen. No, fair enough though. Thanks to the comfort. Hey, no problem, Tyler. Yeah, I know it's easy for someone to say, "Don't worry about that," but you know, when bad things happen to me in my life, I try not to let it affect my mental health as much as I can until there's like a reason to let it. You know what I mean? What's up, Matthew? Good to see you. Happy Saturday. What's up, Scribbo? Welcome to the weekend. Anne-Marie, how you doing on the current card set? I think I have... I think I have 17 cards left. Got another shiny fracture. Holy smokes, Matthew, you're crushing it. Going for Trap Inch, nice. Yeah, I think 17 base cards left. I didn't get any chase cards this week, so I'm hoping that changes today. But I think I'm at the point, because Anne-Marie, I heard you say, I think it was yesterday, that there's a new set coming out next Thursday, the 26th. So I think I'm at the point where I'm not going to be using any more hourglasses. I'm just going to save them up. Razzie, good morning. Matt finding all the friends of Friend Safari. Very true. Matthew, I saw you mention that you didn't realize you had friends on the 3DS, but of course all your friends are only level 2. I might want to grab you at some point this week and test something out. I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after 3DS online shut down that I was able to add someone as a friend, someone else was able to add me as a friend. I want to see if that's still possible. If we're not already friends, I can't remember if we are or not. Got shiny Magmar in the morning yesterday and full art shiny Kingler in the evening. Congratulations, Amory. New horror film Psycho Killer open with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty much like the worst rating you can have. Found 2 shiny Mastiff, a Mimikyu Houndour, and a random chance Shalfa Chikorita. Congratulations. That's awesome. I still don't have a Shalfa Chikorita. I did pick up ZA yesterday for the first time in a few weeks. I turned it on and I was in the middle of a wormhole, or a hyperspace hole. It was a dragon one. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. I was trying to, I gotten my 2 Shalfa Gibbles I needed, but I was trying to get a Shalfa Noibat. So I reset that for a while and ended up getting the Shalfa Noibat. And then I collected some berries, and I was like, okay, I'm not taking any donuts unless it's Alpha 3, Sparkling Power Grass, or Electric. And I ended up with an Alpha Power 3, Fairy 3, so I took that. So I found a hole that had Igglybuffs in them, and I now have Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff, and I'm resetting to get my Igglybuff. Yeah, it's just being a huge pain in the butt. What's up, Sarah? Good to see you. What's your best Pokemon? Or what's my best Pokemon? Yours is U-Mew-EX. Are you talking about cards? I don't really collect the physical cards. I play Pocket. I have a couple of gold cards there. And, you know, a bunch of shinies and things like that. Some of the immersives. You can add people, just no third person in Friend Safari. Yeah, that's what I figured. So you can still add people, you just can't unlock the 3rd slot, which is disappointing. But on the plus side, that means that if you are hunting for something in the first 2 slots, you have a 50% chance of getting it, not a 33% chance. Jerry and Matthew, do me a favor. Drop your guys' friend codes in the group chat, so I don't have to bug you guys later. 133 out of 155. Okay, I think 138, so I'm not that far ahead of you, Amory. Sarah, welcome back to the Poliwag party. Looking gorgeous with that Poliwhirl that you designed. Would you be able to unlock a 3rd slot if you met up locally? Razzie, that's a very good question. I think, yes, you probably could. I would imagine you could, because it would be done through the local tag system, right? I think so. That's a great question, Razzie. When you come over here for breakfast, we'll have to test it out. Your sister, oh, all right, I'll wait for you to repost that one. Look, I can't find the silly Purloin or Carvana though. I've been looking for legit shiny Purloin since you found out Liepard is dark red. You want so bad. Yeah, Liepard has a beautiful shiny, that's for sure. Well, I hope you get it soon, Lacey. Yeah, it's like a nice dark red. It's gorgeous. You're almost W. Congratulations, Ivo. I hope you W today. So it looks like 45% of y'all are picking up Fire Red, 9% pick up Leaf Green, 27% both, and 18% neither. I'm curious why the very unbalanced lean towards Fire Red. Is it the exclusives? You almost at 300 checks at Sylvia, and you're gonna get it, Ivo. Hatching for Elegant skill, the yellow background makes it difficult. Oh yeah, absolutely, Amory. At least in this game, Amory, we get the sparkles. I'll tell you what, I did some MASUDA hunts in Gen 7 that were miserable, like Tynamo, because in Gen 7 there are no sparkles during egg hatching. You just it won't tell you if it's shiny. You have to actually go into the status screen afterwards. You have Frogadier your 3rd, which is pretty sick for everyone else. Yeah, Frogadier's pretty sweet. I remember getting Frogadier and Greninja from there originally. Sarah, you're tired, played Overwatch with loops all night. I hope you had a good time. I've been having that problem too. I've had Natasha, what's going on? I have had so many chats blocked by YouTube on Kem's channel recently, and I don't know why. They're not even questionable. And I don't want to pull that card, but I'm also a mod, so I didn't realize that YouTube would even have the, I don't want to say the option. Obviously, YouTube can do whatever they want. I didn't know that it was actually even a thing, like blocking mod messages. I didn't know that was something that could happen. I thought maybe I was just, naive and thinking it, but I thought similar to the channel owner, whatever they post just goes through. You have to look for the sparkle when it finally shines. I bet you're going to get it soon, though, Anne-Marie. I believe it. You get Leaf Green because the events, if the events are, you want a defense, hunt defense form Deoxys. Nice, fair enough. Thank you to whoever subbed. I appreciate it. We do have a sub goal today of 2375. Average YouTube, very true, very true. Also, for anyone that wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, something weird happened. You know how I always put, for anyone that's here like at the beginning of the stream, you know how I always put in the first like goal of 15? I typed in the like goal of 15 and I clicked on it to pin it. It wouldn't give me the option. Wouldn't even give me the option to retract it. All I could do was go to channel, timeout user, hide user on this channel. I couldn't even pin my own message. I had to get John Streckert to give me a like goal. I couldn't even retract the message. Like literally the only thing I could do as the channel owner was like time myself out or hide myself. You subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, the 3 kids. Probably going to get both, so you voted both. Didn't get to play the games when they were out. I know, and I'm so excited for you, Anne-Marie, because they are amazing games. I think they're great remakes of the Kanto region, and plus things like the addition of the Sevi Isles is really sweet. As far as my opinion on these games, I've watched a lot of videos. I mean, I've made my own opinions, and then like last night and this morning I watched a lot of videos, and I can understand why some people are upset. I'm not as upset as some other people may be. Yes, Matthew, it does. So yeah, you can drop Illuminate like in the first slot in Friend Safari, and yeah, you'll increase the number of encounters. But I will say that like I'm not like angry. I'm not like freaking out. I'm not, frustrated or anything like that. I will say I am disappointed that there's no online connectivity. I do feel like it was a missed opportunity to add online. I think that's going to lead to a lot of disappointed people, which is a shame. Because the world's different than it was back in 2004. I mean, let's just be honest. I think how would you get treated, Evos? The fact, Matthew, that you have to ask that question proves my point. There's still local co-op. You can physically be near somebody else. You can still physically be near another player. But the fact that that is not the first thing that people think about nowadays proves my point. That's so rare nowadays. Honestly, when was the last time that you physically were in the same room as somebody else playing the same game? Clocky, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I watched your video this morning. It was a good video. Currently training a bunch of Pokemon Infinite Royale and trying to get better prizes. Need more bottle caps, but training Pokemon to 100 and also training your shinies with them. Well, good luck on that. I could have brought the Union Circle back. Yeah, I mean, technically it has Union Circle, but that's all local connection. You can connect up to 5 people. I don't know why 5 though. But yeah, so no trade evolutions for people that don't have a real life friend that 1 has a Switch and 2 purchases either Fire Red or Leaf Green. That's my biggest disappointment. If you've never played the game, if you're excited about playing the game, I'm not trying to take that away from you. I really hope you enjoy the game. It is a fantastic game. I just feel like it's a really missed opportunity that they didn't at least add in online. there's a lot of conversation about the fact that it's just a emulated ROM. It's not a port. They didn't add anything, and yeah, that's a legitimate a legitimate gripe for people that have that. That doesn't bother me as much as just the fact there's no online. Now, I mean, all that said, if it does come out that there ends up being like a downloadable Aurora ticket, I'll probably end up buying it just so I can rehunt Deoxys, like Jerry was just saying. But I mean, for me personally, I'm not going to buy them because, I mean, having the original games myself, they've given me no reason to repurchase them. And I don't say that like I'm mad about it. It's just a factual thing. I've been given no reason to buy them again. Don't understand why they're so adamant about no cloud saves when people still hack Gen Clone anyway. Who knows? Who knows? I don't understand half the decisions they make. And Lacey, you never have to apologize. I mean, it was just announced yesterday. There's so much that Nintendo didn't mention. There's so much about the game that people haven't thought about in like 20 years, really, that there's no reason to apologize for not knowing something about it. Besides the Oxus, were there any other events in those games? I genuinely can't remember, Razzie. I feel like there might have been. Let's look it up. Let's science this. I'm just gonna go to old Sarah B. And go down to Gen 3, go to Fire Red Leaf Green, go to Events, and see what we have. There's the Mystic ticket as well as the Aurora ticket. What was that? Naval Rock. Naval Rock had what? Oh, Naval Rock had Lugia and Ho-Oh. Okay. Oh, and you guys just covered everything while I wasn't looking. Shiny Gimme Golden Pogo. I got it during the last time they did the event, so I'm not bothering with it this time. You also can't complete the National Dex without Gen 3. Yeah. So, all right. So here, let me tell you guys some, I guess, optimistic things I'm thinking about with this. And good morning, Amber. You look very nice today. And Slowpoke, what's up, buddy? So optimistic things I'm thinking about with these game releases. It makes sense to me they're starting with Fire Red Leaf Green, giving us a 30th anniversary. It would not surprise me if by the end of the year they release the Hoenn games. They release Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I think they're going to be the same prices, $20 each, $60 for all three. And as far as events go, I think it's going to be very dependent on what ends up happening with Fire Red Leaf Green. If we don't get event stuff for Fire Red Leaf Green, I wouldn't hold my breath about getting them for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. The other thing is, I wonder, and this is some big speculation on my part. This is just some out of my brain thinking here. For the last year, we've been wondering where the heck Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD is. Why did they announce it last year and they haven't dropped it in NSO yet? Razzie, what was so special, other than it being an awesome game, what was so special about Pokemon Coliseum? Do you remember? I feel like of anybody, you and probably Clocky would remember. What was so special about Pokemon Coliseum when it came out? Your 100 box is overflowing, so you had to clear another box for more Pokemon to get 100? That's awesome. You're going to burst my bubble. Like I said, it was big optimistic thinking. I could totally be wrong. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, when Pokemon Coliseum came out, it would connect with your Gen 3 games. You could transfer over Pokemon, and it was the only way to get a lot of Gen 2 Pokemon. And so is its own app. Yeah, probably so. There probably won't be any connectivity, which is a shame. For a second there, it did make me excited about there actually being a reason behind Coliseum and XD. Not so much the Stadium games, because that was Gen 1 and 2. Jirachi pre-order disc, that would have been nice, but yeah, I don't think... Could you imagine if they just like shadow dropped, like, we're releasing Coliseum and XD and the Coliseum bonus disc? But yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but that would have been nice. It would have been nice if they were waiting to drop Coliseum until after they released some Gen 3 games. Yeah, Laura can maybe take a nap. Sounds good, Sarah. Hope you have a lovely nap. All right, one more. Wonder who wrote the Book of Love. I've been wondering that for a long time, OMD. But yeah, like, it doesn't make sense to me to have... I mean, I guess it does. I mean, they're still full games. It makes more sense to me to have XD and Coliseum without connectivity than it does Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2 without the connectivity is like Pokemon Battle Revolution, and that was terrible. Yeah, why would they bother exactly? Is that for Kalos Tour? Is that next week? Holy smokes, next week is Kalos Tour. Wonder why they announced them and then not release them. I don't know what the holdup is. I mean, I still think they're going to be released. I'm shocked that they would announce them more than a year before they were planning on dropping them. Just woke up? Well, good morning, Eric. I don't know if you're buying Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yeah, I personally have no reason to buy either, but I completely understand people that want to. It's just, since it doesn't look like you're adding anything new to it, there's no reason for me to buy them again. But I'm very excited for people like Amory that have never played them and are going to be able to experience them for the first time. Clocky, I mean, you were 100% right in your video, and if you guys haven't watched Clocky's video that he dropped this morning yet, you should go check it out. You're 100% right. Like, whether it was intentional or whether it was like just kind of to cover a mistake or whatever, what they've done is they've given us an entire week of thinking about nothing other than these two ROMs. And had it just been one of many announcements announced next Friday, we probably wouldn't have given it much thought. But now, like, because of the culture of gamers and YouTube and all that, like, we are literally going to spend the next 8 days picking that entire thing apart. You won't be shiny hunting on them if they're full odds. They are full odds. I'm not gonna lie, like, the YouTuber side of me is very curious to see what the terrain looks like after next Friday. If Fire Red and Leaf Green start getting a bunch of buzz and interest, and, you know, people are wanting to watch those live streams and everything, I'm considering doing like a maybe some shiny hunting, maybe walk through on Fire Red or Leaf Green. I just do it on my existing GBA cartridges with the Game Boy operator. But I mean, I have the game, so like if that's where the, you know, if that's where YouTube goes, where everyone's just like playing those games nonstop, I think I'd be a fool not to try and jump in. Maybe even like continue these Sword and Shield hunts while I also have another smaller screen, like resetting for Shiny Starter or something. I don't know. Don't want to hunt Fire Red Leaf Green, not after that Zubat. My gosh. Speaking of Zubat, I'll bet you a shiny nickel they didn't make any updates to Altered Cave on Sevi Islands. I remember being younger. I think I was in my early 20s and trying to figure out what the heck was up with that cave for so long. Only to find out years later, like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be a thing, it just never happened. Saying how lazy Adele is, never get a Heart Gold Soul Silver because they have to modify code to get everything on one screen. God forbid we put effort into this. Well, Clocky, I agree, but I don't agree with that because they're totally going to release a peripheral that plugs into the Switch 2 that acts as a second screen all of the Wii U. And it'll cost like $100. Back to the old days of encounters being annoying. I don't know, there's something kind of, I mean, miserable, but also charming about the old hunting. You're getting the Fire Red port first? Excuse me. Nice, Aid. Nice. Yeah, you are doing the Oaks challenge, which is pretty crazy. Maybe that's something I'll try doing. It'd probably be miserable. Pokemon's taking off while you're in college? Bingo. Yeah. I started college in the fall of '98, right about the same time that Pokemon started gaining some traction in the U.S. Actually, when did Red and Blue come out in the U.S.? You know, sometimes I hate Google. I specifically searched Pokemon Blue so I could ignore all the Fire Red Leaf Green stuff. And the first several results were still the new Fire Red Leaf Green. September 20th, 98. So yeah, so Pokemon Red and Blue came out in the US about 3 weeks after I started college. I didn't end up getting into it till the following summer. It was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year. When Pokemon Snap came out. That was the first Pokemon game I played. Being surprised when you encounter the Pokemon and it turns out to be shiny, you think Gen 6 has it best. I agree. I agree, Matthew. Yeah, Mewtwo. 96 is when the games first came out, but specifically in the US, they came out in 98. Back in the day, the first few generations, Japan specifically, maybe some other countries, would get the games a lot earlier than the U.S. would. They would come out in the U.S. and then, or I'm sorry, they would come out in Japan, and then after they came out in Japan, then the different countries' localization teams would get on it and start the translation, and that might be a year or two later that they came out in that particular country. Pokemon had a weird renaissance when you were in college as well with Pokemon Go. That's wild. GBA may explode, but you're working on marriage and slash family. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Shiny for 850. I hope you're right, Lacey. I'm ready for this to be done. I want to get over to the Blipbug. I miss Wild Encounters and Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, Mewtwo. Yeah, I think you're just you just slid that timeline 2 years to the side. You have a shiny Voltorb in your Leaf Green game? Nice. Dang it, I know Clocky's right, but I'm still a little sad they burst my bubble about Coliseum. Yeah, that was the main reason why I bought Coliseum when it first came out, was at the time, so like Gens 1 and 2, right? Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, they could interact with each other on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. But that was it. When the Game Boy Advance games came out, there was no way to transfer Pokemon from Gens 1 and 2 up to Gen 3. So basically, Living Dexes had to, by definition, restart in Gen 3. And so you had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and then Fire Red, Leaf Green. Fire Red and Leaf Green had some Gen 2 Pokemon on the Sevi Islands, but the remainders you could only get by catching them in Pokemon Coliseum and transferring them into your Game Boy Advance Gen 3 game. Finally hungered down, beat your first game this year. It was a bucket list item. Now you can rest in peace. Nice. Congratulations. Which one was OND? And yes, thank you, Lacey. Thank you. I meant to bring that up, and I totally forgot about it. Happy 40th anniversary to Legend of Zelda. A great franchise. Arguably my favorite video game franchise of all time. Happy well wishes on 40 years, and you deserve absolutely everything that Nintendo is doing for your anniversary. How do you even evolve Eevee into Espeon Leaf Green? You don't. You don't. The only way to get Eevee, the only way to get Espeon and Umbreon in Gen 3 was to transfer them over from. Wait, could you? Was it transfer them over from Coliseum? Now you got me wondering if I'm misremembering, because that seems weird that you'd be able to transfer your starter. Okay, no, you can evolve them in Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, but you can also get them in XD. Okay, that's what it was. Outset Island has to be the top 10 original soundtracks Nintendo has made, in your opinion? Think so? Okay, yeah. Ruby. You have to evolve it in Ruby or Sapphire, and then trade it over. Because yeah, there's no daytime nighttime cycle in Fire Red Leaf Green. Also, if you guys are picking up Fire Red Leaf Green and you're trying to evolve things like Golbat or Chansey, or what else would there be? The other ones, you cannot evolve a Gen 1 Pokemon, or Scissor. You can't evolve a well, that's a trait anyway. You can't evolve a Gen 1 Pokemon into a Gen 2 Pokemon until after you beat the game and get the National Dex. So just a heads up, if you're training your Golbat and it keeps starting the evolution screen and it stops and it says something happened and you're like, what the heck? That's why. That's why. You can't evolve them into Gen 2 Pokemon until after you get the National Dex. Great Sea Theme's your favorite track in Wind Waker. Wind Waker was one of those games where I honestly did not really enjoy it that much the first time, but I loved it on replays. I think I was just, I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember this. Post Ocarina of Time, there was I think it was an E3, where they showed off some test footage of Zelda, and everyone like went crazy because it looked amazing. And so everyone thought like that was the new Zelda game they were working on as a follow-up to Ocarina of Time. And, or I guess it would have been post Majora's Mask. But instead we got Wind Waker, and obviously completely different graphic style. It was cel shading and everything. And a lot of people were very disappointed in that at the time, including myself. And also, I thought it was, 7.8 out of 5, too much water, whatever the meme is, way too much water. But on replays, I really like it a lot more. Get Leaf Green to Slowpoke is version exclusive. That's what I figured. Good point, Jerry. Good point. If you try to evolve Stantler into Weirdeer, it won't happen. No to Dunsparce. Twilight Princess E3 reveal was insane, though. It really was. I mean, in hindsight, it almost looks like that's what they were working on at the time. I don't know if it was or not, but it was definitely a lot closer to that style than it was to Wind Waker. Twilight Princess was a great game, too. I would love a classic-style Zelda game, though. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom were a fun departure from a classic Zelda game, but I would like another classic Zelda game. Favorite Zelda Mini Boss theme is the Ocarina of Time Mini Boss theme. Twilight Princess is your favorite game. Those are good opinions. You're gonna try and not have a Pokemon in the 60s while the rest of your team are in the 40s next time you play. I'm going to try and not have like an overlevel Blastoise that knows 4 water moves. Who here has done a Fire Red Leaf Green starter hunt? When I say classic, that's a good question. I was after I said it, I was thinking I probably shouldn't say classic. I mean pre Breath of the Wild. I mean non-overworld, more linear, not linear, because there's always been a map, but a little bit more linear. Classic dungeons. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Remake the original same graphics as Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening. That would be pretty cool. I would like that as well. So yeah, like if Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are like their own like subgenre of Zelda, that was enjoyable. I'm ready to go back to a pre Breath of the Wild type Zelda game. You got Shiny Ditto in Japan language. Nice, Cedric. You're gonna use that for some MASUDA hunting? I already forgot how many eggs. Alright, we need 3 more eggs. Anybody else shiny hunting anything right now? No gender forms either? That's right. Yeah, gender forms did not show up until Gen 4. You have Shiny Pumpkin? Love Shiny Pumpkin. And I think that's it on the eggs. Nope, one more. God, I'm terrible at this. I'm like the worst there ever was at counting eggs. What'll be really interesting, though, everyone talking about Fire Red Leaf Green announcement yet again, is I feel like we will know for certain on Friday whether the announcement was intentional or not. Because if it was not intentional, there's going to be a noticeable gap. And I don't necessarily mean like an actual gap like in the video, like it's just going to, you know, go to black for a minute. But I feel like if it was unintentional, they're either going, if it's already been recorded, they're going to have to do some major editing, or if it hasn't been recorded, they're going to have to scramble to try and refocus what they want the attention to be on. But I think either way, I think we'll know on Friday whether or not they meant to announce it yesterday. Twilight Princess, but it's a Wii version, you can only use motion controls. That is, you know, it's funny you say that, Clocky. That was, there it is! There it is! We got it! Shiny Corsola on the screen. When I got the Wii, Twilight Princess was one of the first games I got. I think I got 2 or 3 games that launch day, or Christmas, or whatever it was. But Twilight Princess was one of them, and the first one that I played. And it took me a few hours in. I was so frustrated because the controls didn't seem to be working right. I finally realized that the Wii Twilight Princess Link was right-handed. I'm left-handed. And so I'm slashing the opposite way of the game. And I was like, it took me a while. I was getting so frustrated. But I finally realized what was happening. Why I kept like screwing up all the parries. Why I kept getting hit. Why I kept hitting somebody else. My mind was blown that day that it realized that I was, and yeah, and Link has always been a lefty. The difference between the GameCube version and the Wii version is literally it's a mirror image. And for some reason, the GameCube got left-handed Link. Light Goal 40, hefty target found. Love it, Tyler. Thank you so much. Was I over odds? I was, Flo. I was 333 eggs over odds. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Do we have any more eggs? We do. Let you leg this week? Nice. One of the wildest decisions they made just to pander to us right-handers. I blame you right-handers for everything, Clocky. You right-handers completely ruined my first day of playing the Wii. Oh, we're going to have to switch this. How do you do it? There we go. There it is. Okay, we're going to do some nature guesses here in a second. We're going to put it up here. Let's get some nature guesses in the chat. And so that was 844. So I was 332 over odds. Not your fault. I know it's not your fault. No worries. Wii Sports Resort. Yeah, like Wii Sports would let you pick if you were left-handed or right-handed. It did. And I have a whole 30 eggs left to start for my second hunt. We're not going to do it right now, though. All right, we have bold, gentle, hasty, bold, calm, hash, balanced, relaxed, hasty, adamant, hash. Razzie, I go for some hash browns right now. I'm going to say impish. Also, Kem, good morning. We got Dorian saying bold. Let's find out what it is. Does it have a mark? No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't, because it's an egg. Eggs can't have marks. Let's see what the nature is. Breeding fodder was your name in college, Clocky. I heard that about you. It is serious. Why so serious? That's awesome. Let's put our team back in. Because we're going to go hunt some blip bug. You won. Good job, Aiden. I guess technically you did. Oh, that's a shiny Shiinotic. That's pretty neat. I don't need that on the team, though. Is this... Is that my Shiinotic? Like, my actual Shiinotic? I don't know. How did you know? You've been around here too long, me too. Been around way too long. Alright, I don't need that. Let's put Absol in front. Balance is serious, quirky, bashful, hardy. Yeah, and what's the fifth one? There's a fifth one. Can't remember what that is. Mike Shiinotic. Okay, let's do some things here. That's exciting. That is very exciting for me. Like, the more I think about it, the more excited I am. That is the first time in a very long time I've actually gotten a shiny I needed for my personal collection. That is one that I needed for my Shiny Living Premier decks. So that's pretty dang awesome. Let's change the hunt. Make this guy a little bigger. Let's reset the counter. Actually, we're going to do the auto counter with this one. What are all the steps of the MASUDA method? So you need to... You can do it with any Pokemon that can breed. The majority of people use Ditto, so I'm going to be speaking as Ditto. If you're not going to be using Ditto, you're going to use another Pokemon. Just follow the same steps. Just replace, the name. Obviously, it has to be a breedable Pokemon. You want to get a Ditto from a different language. So, like, if your main game's language is English, you're going to want to get a Spanish Ditto or a French Ditto or a Japanese Ditto, whatever, and transfer it into your game. If you have two Pokemon that are from two different languages and they breed, then that egg's chance of being shiny is 1 in 683. If you have the shiny charm, it drops to 1 in 512. Step 1, look to the left and you shake that hand. You look to the right and you shake that hand. Something, tie some yarn, and that's how you, what's the missing step? I know you tie some yarn and then that's how you do the scarring. I'm missing a step. I'm very embarrassed and disappointed in myself. Meet new friends, tie some yarn. Thank you. That's the most important part. Hello? Okay. Crazy thing is you can train yourself to be more ambidextrous. You know, Matthew, the crazy thing is you. Got him. I don't care that's off center. It's going to change after 10 counters. Alright, now I got to get the auto counter open. Get my sniffing pool ready. Okay. Being left-handed makes you a little cooler, you think? I agree. What's up, Shadletsky? It's not over. Hefty 517 is the only one. It's not over. That's right. What's up, Coco Crux? Alright. We want to go to Route 2. Your mom's a lefty, and while you're primarily right-handed, you can only do some things with your left hand, so you think you're slightly ambidextrous. I can understand that. There's certain things I do with my right hand. I bowl with my right hand. Did I actually finish that thought? Who knows? It's hard to tell sometimes. Ready here because there's one. We're going to counter it. Alright, grab that clip. Okay. Yeah. We're almost done. It just takes a second to set up. Counter. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, let's see if I do this right. Use your blinker with your left hand, you brake with your left foot. Get out of here. You two are silly. That's a Yamper. That doesn't count. Alright, collectibles. What's going on? Good to see you. You're excited for Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch 2. You don't understand all the hate. Yeah, a lot of people are upset about it for multiple reasons. I wouldn't say I hate it. I'm very excited for people that are going to get a chance to play it that haven't played it before. But I am disappointed there's no online connectivity. I'm disappointed that people won't be able to trade or battle online. That's a swing and a miss in my opinion. So this does have the lowest encounter rate of all the overworld Pokemon here, but it's the only place in the game that has overworld encounters with bugs. So that's kind of what we're stuck with. Use gas with your left hand. Matthew, I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Other than, if I ever come to visit you, I will be driving us to lunch. So what we're looking for here is the purple bow tie. That's what we really want. You don't mind the local stuff because the online stuff didn't exist back then? That's true, it didn't exist back then. But I believe the gaming world's a lot different now than it is back then. Like, for me, it's going to be very hard to find someone else local to me that, one, has a Switch, and two, has also purchased the emulated Fire Red Leaf Green. So it's going to make it tougher to get all the Pokemon. That's for sure. Like your tandem bike. I would love to, Matthew. That sounds so nice. Sounds so relaxing and sweet. But yeah, no, I mean, if people want to buy the games and they're excited about it, that's awesome. I'm not trying to detract from that at all. I just feel like it's a bit of a miss that they didn't add online. If they added online, I honestly probably would have bought them, even though I don't need to. I already have them. I can play them whenever I want already. There's nothing new to entice me to purchase them again, which is a little unfortunate. But if they had online compatibility, honestly, I probably would have bought them. Whenever you do the two truths, one lie thing, you always go with the I'm the lefty. Ooh, that is smart. You're not going to buy them, Eric? Yeah, I just, like I said, it's my one big disappointment. I understand all the other complaints that people have. I just don't feel as passionately about them as other people may. But that's the one thing for me. That's what is going to be keeping me from repurchasing those games. Shiny Doug Trio, nice, Matthew. Congratulations. I'm glad we got an early Galarian Corsola. 804, well, early in the stream. I shouldn't say an early Galarian Corsola is 844 eggs, but early in the stream. That's very exciting. Unfortunately, that means I need to make a new thumbnail. But I have an idea for it. I'll get out of the way. Ah, dang it, Zigzagoon. We're going to run into so many Zigzagoon. What's up, Axton? And thank you to whoever just subscribed. I appreciate you. We do have a sub goal today of 2375. Oh, I got something I want to talk about. Something that happened to me this week. Well, thank you, Axon. I appreciate it. Something that happened to me this week. It's not Pokemon related at all. It has to do with my other big passion, comic books. So I apologize in advance to anyone that doesn't give a crap. I've already talked to a couple of you about this. I'm going to go ahead and put this out as like a general notification. Axe rules. There's that notification popping up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I'm a huge comic nerd, if you don't know. Mostly Marvel. although I'm getting into a lot more DC lately. And one of the things I've been collecting for about a year now, just a little over a year, is these things called Marvel Epic Collections, which are like big books, big thick books that have like between 20 to 30 comics in each, so you're able to like get the entire run of a comic series without having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And last Friday, there was a live stream on a channel that I pay attention to that talks about these types of things. And they have a direct connection with Marvel. It's actually the channel that like does all the announcements for the new books and everything. And once a year, they do this thing called a reprint poll, where they ask the fans basically like which books that are out of print do you want them to reprint, and then they pass that list along to Marvel. I'm gonna get back to the story here in a second. I got a little bit of chat to catch up on. Lacey says, when you have a Shiny Doug Trio story in the desert, going to the power plant or Lumios or somewhere in X. I think I know what you're talking about. When I ran into a shiny Trapinch by accident, 30 minutes later you found another shiny, and it was Doug Trio. That's amazing. So it was like a buy one get one free sale. You got the Doug Trio you were looking for, and then you also ended up getting a Trapinch. That's awesome. Tyler, I did not see the previous message. I think it's YouTube's being a butt again and just hiding messages for no reason. I see the animal, not anima, but I didn't see the previous message. So anyway, during this live stream where they're doing the poll on what books should be reprinted, there's a lot of people in the chat that said, "What about this particular one?" Because everyone was saying like it was out of print, and the guys that were running the stream didn't know about it, and they looked it up and they're like, "Oh, you're right. We'll pass that on. We'll put that in the poll as well." And I was shocked about it because it was a book that came out just a little over a year ago, and so now I'm like freaking out. Yeah, me too, absolutely. Now I'm freaking out that like I missed the opportunity to pick up this book, and who knows when or if it'll ever get reprinted. But it's new enough that there's probably still a lot of stores that have it. It's just not available online anymore. So I'm not asking anybody to spend any money. I'm not asking that. But I am saying, if you happen to be like in a Barnes & Noble or a Books A Million, and you happen to see this book, let me know. This is Daredevil Epic Collection 3. It's called Out. This is the book that apparently is now out of print, ironically. It's called Out. When, honestly, there's no reason why it should be out of print, but it is. So if you happen to see this book like in the graphic novel section at like a Barnes & Noble or Second and Charles or something like that, let me know. I'll make it worth your while. New Horizons pricing makes no sense. 1,000 bells for a tea set and 2,200 bells for a card tower. That makes zero sense. Have you ever... I'm with you. I agree with you, Tyler. It's funny, though. Have you ever kind of like looked at in-game pricing of items in games and tried to figure out like their economic situation? It's wild. Yeah, the title is Out, Christopher Larson. It's called... In fact, I'm going to put it in the chat. This is specifically what it's called. It's called Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection Volume. I can't type today. That's the title. Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3 Out. So yeah, I already have asked a few friends to keep an eye out for it, but if any of you guys happen to notice it and you're, running around, living your life, let me know. You're playing Sword and Shield right now? Nice, that guy in a mask. Me too. Playing Shield, looking for the shiny Blip Bug. One of the last few shinies I need from this game in a Premier Ball for my shiny Living Premier decks. Just bought the light switch item that looks like 3 light switches for 340 bells. That'd be way more expensive in real life because electrical work is not cheap. That's true. That's a good point. Electrical work is not cheap. Anne Marie, are you still here? I think you're like me. I think you don't typically count your encounters, but I was curious if you had like an idea how many eggs you hatched before you got your first of your 2 blip bugs. Tips for being the Dragon Gym leader. So that one is, what's the deal with that one? Is that a double battle? It's been so long since I've done a playthrough, I gotta be honest. Honestly, your best bet's probably to have as many fairy types on your team as possible. I can't remember specifically what Pokemon he has. I'm assuming like a Haxorus, maybe a Druddigon. But yeah, like just loading up your team with either fairy types or, you know, other strong Pokemon that happen to have fairy moves. That's probably for the best. And thank you to whoever just subbed. But yeah, if you use fairy type Pokemon, then none of the dragon type moves will hit. Then the question is, what other moves do this Pokemon have that he has? Yeah, but watch out for steel and poison type moves. Thank you, Dorian. You're my favorite. It is a competition, despite what anybody may tell you. It is in fact a competition, and Dorian is currently in the lead. Just a heads up. Yeah, fairy route's definitely the best way to go. Like I said, just be careful. Pay attention to what other moves his Pokemon have. Like, let's say he's got a dragon type that also knows a rock move. You might not want to bring a fairy flying. How many eggs for the Corsola? Oh no, John, did you miss it? I'm so sorry. It was 844 eggs. 844. 332 eggs over odds. Whoa! Mewtwo! Holy smokes! That's gorgeous. I'm sorry. I gotta share it with everybody. I gotta share it with everyone. This is awesome. Look what Mewtwo has. A shiny, lucky Hundo Meowstic. That is crazy. How did you get to be so good? Yeah, John, I am. I'm not gonna complain about it because honestly, I'm a little over the eggs at the moment. But last weekend, Kiro made a very, very generous donation. Donations are never, ever expected, but greatly appreciated. And it was such a large donation, I felt like I had to give Kiro something. So I allowed, and I probably got to give him more, but I allowed Kiro to pick the next hunt. So much gold! What's going on, Brandon? Any luck on the Celesteela last night? And was that just was that a one-off, or are you done in ZA now? Keep that on occasion. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I picked it up yesterday for the first time in a couple weeks. My goal is I want to have the living decks done before Friday. I still need Rotom, Armarouge, Porygon Z, and one other. I can't remember right now. So I've just been going through the pain of trying to get the Rotom. Don't get it twisted, Brandon. I'm talking living decks. I'm not talking shiny living decks. I'm talking living decks. But I'm just going through the pain of trying to get that Rotom hole. I got plenty of Shalfas still to get. Can you see my team? Sure. It's not a very impressive team. It's more of a shiny hunting team. So I got my Absol that has Thunder Wave and False Swipe. I have my Marowak that is a Ghost type with False Swipe. I have a Trevenant, which is a ghost type with Trick and Harvest and Skill Swap. And then I have my Chandelure, which is also a ghost type, and honestly, I just keep it around for Flame Body for hatching eggs. And it's just, I'm keeping it in the team right now just so that I can get a little bit more experience. Chance of phasing out Blipbug is, I would say... Now, the good thing is, the Blipbug is overworld encounters, so I can see them, so I can kind of isolate them in a way, but there are going to be times where I either run into a Zigzagoon or a grass encounter gets me. So I'm thinking there's maybe a 20 to 25% chance I face. I think odds are much better that I get the Blipbug before anything else, but there certainly is a non-zero chance that I face on something. It feels good, though. It feels so good to be back in Scarlet and Violet shiny hunting. Ziggy's so chaotic. Oh, I know. They're the worst. They're the absolute worst. The good news is, if you're hunting for Zigzagoon, you can basically just stand there and wait for them to run into you. It's almost an AFK hunt. This is not Scarlet and Violet. It is not. What's going on, Cashier? 2370. That's right. We're getting very close to that sub goal of 2375. Wait, did I say Scarlet and Violet? Did I say that? My bad. I meant Sword and Shield, obviously. I don't know. There's too many games. I can't keep track. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Fire Red Leaf Green, if you want to share them, now that I put you on the spot? Right now you're MASUDA hunting. Good luck, Flo. What are you hunting for? Litten. Okay, nice. That's a good one. Litten was a shiny hunt I did on the stream, and it was my longest MASUDA hunt. It was 1,079 eggs. Never get Corsola. We did get it earlier in the stream. We got it at 844 eggs. Remember that device in Alpha Omega Sapphire Ruby where you can find the Pokemon behind the grass? Yeah, DexNav. DexNav hunting is a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Actually, I think Yamper might be the lowest percentage spawn here. I think Yamper might be 5 and Woodbug might be like 15. But what's up, Victoria? Japan exclusive Fire Red Leaf Green limited edition box set. I think it looks really cool. It's just unfortunate there's no game inside of it. I think it's a really cool set that doesn't have a game. Shows you more than just what the Pokemon is and you're good. Nice. Nice. Yeah, DexNet was a lot of fun. You could find out before you encountered it. You had the chance to find out, like, some of its stats, its nature, its ability. You understand why that's just a Japan thing? Why is that, Clocky? Because they don't want people to pay, Oh, they only want to pack it with the Japanese copy of the game? Yeah. Yeah, there's no game card. There's just a card with the download code. Too many scalpers in the USA. There are certainly a ton of scalpers here. Absolutely. But from what I understand, there are also quite a lot of scalpers in Japan. Maybe not as many, but it's not like it's a US only thing. It's only take too much effort for them to make sure it's packed with a separate copy. You know what, Clocky? I have a feeling you're being a little bit sarcastically bitter, yet also 100% factually accurate at the same time. It's a weird mix. And I wish we weren't here. But, yeah. It would be too much to make sure that they pack in a separate language game card download code copy. Would I like to have a better version of that device with the new Pokemon game? Yeah, I would love for them to bring DexNap back. Lottery would be good. Got your first fairy type? Nice. Which one did you grab? No, the other thing, this is a small thing. This isn't like me complaining. This isn't really nitpick. It's just, it's something kind of funny that I didn't notice until someone in the, someone that made a video pointed it out. The mushroom guy. Oh, Shinotic. Nice. That's a good choice. I gotta pull this up. Now, I know Brandon and I both work in marketing. So, I think Brandon, if he hasn't noticed this yet, either will appreciate this. It's all about the wording. It's about the copy. Let me share this. It's about how they phrased something. Okay. So, right here, this digital exclusive contains the contains the Sevi Islands, where even more Pokemon await. This digital exclusive contains the Sevi items, or Sevi Islands, I can't speak, where even more Pokemon await. They phrase it like this is something they added. Like, the way they phrase it, I mean, it doesn't say they added it, but the way they phrase it, it leads people, it could lead people to assume that means that this is an exclusive part that they added. This digital exclusive contains the Sevi Islands where even more Pokemon await. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it sound like that's something they added specifically for this version. Which I just think is wild. The Sevi Islands were in the original Leaf Green Fire Red. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But the way they phrase that, it makes it sound like they added it. What's up, Kiro? Good to see ya. Kiro, we got the Corsola, so now we're hunting for Blipbug. Bug is the only type without legendaries? Is that true? I guess so, huh? I can't think of a legendary bug. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking mythicals, then yeah, you got Genesect, but I can't think of a mythical bug. You're right. Well, Genesect's a mythical. Genesect's a mythical. So it depends on whether or not you consider mythicals a subset of legendaries or something separate. Buzzwole. Buzzwole is not a legendary. It is it's a Ultra Beast. Because we need to have some sort of arbitrary differentiation between certain Pokemon nowadays. I think there's way too many subcategories of Pokemon in my opinion. For those who only played through Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but so exactly, it's not incorrect. What they said isn't incorrect. I'm not even sure if I would say it's misleading, but the way it's phrased makes it sound like it's a bonus feature to the digital version. It's curious phrasing. Normal type should have been the Elite Four. If you put together a good Might Entice Newbies, yeah, I mean I think it's fair to say something to the effect of, unlike the other Kanto games, Fire Red and Leaf Green include the Sevi Islands, but the way they phrase it, like, this digital exclusive also contains the Sevi Islands, which have more Pokemon. Just the phrasing is purposeful. Anne-Marie, thank you so much. I'm sorry you missed it, but we are going for Blipbug now. Yeah, it was 844 eggs. We finally got it. Only has one weakness. That's true. It does only have one weakness. Okay, how do you guys feel about this? This might be a stupid question, but something that I've kind of always grasped with in my head. So normal type, right? It's got one immunity. It's immune to Ghost. It's got one weakness. It's weak to fighting, and it's got 0 resistances, and it is resisted by steel and rock. Should there ever be something that normal is super effective against? All right, we gotta check the Zigzagoon just because it's stinky. Yeah, Float. So they announced it yesterday morning. Fire Red and Leaf Green emulated ROMs will be coming to the Switch next Friday for US dollars $19.99 a piece. Yeah, if we see a brilliant aura, we have to check it. That's just the law of shiny hunting and Sword and Shield. The plan was that normal was going to be super effective on Dark. Was it really? I've never heard that. The digital exclusive also includes the Pokemon League, right? It's just very curious phrasing. Normal's not very effective on Dragon? Really? Dragon resists normal? $19.99 is really not that bad for a full game. There's definitely been some discussions about the pricing. For me, I will not be purchasing them solely because there is nothing additional. There's nothing added to it that I don't already have in the cartridge that I own. And it does not have online capability. Had one or both of those things been different, I would be purchasing them. But as right now, I'm not mad about it. I'm not, irate. I'm not fuming. But as of right now, there's no reason for me to purchase them. Normal should have been the weakest terrestrial type. What was that special type that they introduced in Indigo Disc? The terrestrialization that was like every type but no type at the same time. Not mad, just disappointed. That's closer. Stellar type, that's it. Stellar type. Was that? I do not pay attention to competitive. I'm not in the competitive scene whatsoever. When they introduced Stellar type, did that make any noticeable difference in the competitive scene? Did that become a factor at all? The only thing I will say about the price is you can buy Fire Red or Leaf Green for the same price you can buy Silk Song. If I remember correctly, not really. It was used on par, if not less, than other Terra types. Okay, gotcha. I was curious, I never used it in-game. I never really saw a use for it, so of course I never really used any Terra type in-game. Unless it was in the event dens. But I didn't know if maybe it made more of an impact on the competitive scene. Speaking of competitive, what is the current Megastone in ZA? The last one I got was Septiolite. In terms of home compatibility, they think it would be worth it. Seller types had niche opportunity depending on the regulation and your opponents. Gotcha. Yeah, home compatibility. I think we'll get an answer on that one way or another on Friday. I don't know. I mean, I can see both ways because if you guys hadn't heard, when they first dropped it on the eShop early yesterday morning in the US. It originally said home support. And then they removed the verbiage about home support. So I can see it going one of two ways. One, it wasn't supposed to say anything about home support because it won't be any. Or two, it wasn't supposed to say anything about home support because they wanted to keep that information for a later home update rollout. Marshantite, Blazikenite. I do need both of those. And my guess, I could be wrong, my guess is the next one's going to be the Garchompite Z. That's what I'm going to assume. I think then we'll be all done with the stones. Also, what's up, Strings? How you doing? New Pokemon after 4 years on Friday seems so weird but awesome. Hopefully. I'm still trying to, like, there's a difference between educated expectations and assumptions, right? I am expecting that there will probably be a Gen 10 announcement on Friday, but I'm not assuming that there will. That's the key to these things, is just keeping your expectations or your assumptions kind of tempered. But yes, I'm very excited to see new Pokemon. I annoyed the crap out of a lot of my online friends, a lot of my fellow streamers. I annoyed the crap out of them, just moaning and whining and complaining to them when ZA came out that there was literally nothing new for me to hunt. I expect there to at least be a handful of new Pokemon. Alright, Kira, let's see what you got. Your Audi loves ham sandwiches, but only with Swiss cheese. Interesting. Likes the old ham and Swiss. You're good? I'm glad to hear that, Strings. Finish your fairy team. There you go. Now you're ready to take on that dragon trainer. Dragon gym leader. Oh my gosh, it's already almost 11:30. We're in about 4 minutes. We're going to open up a couple packs. See if we can get any more cards for the set. I'm not going to be using my hourglasses anymore. I want to save those for the new set that comes out on Thursday, apparently. Which also is a little weird. I don't know. I know that pocket sets always come out on Thursdays. It feels a little crazy that they're coming out with a new set the day before Pokemon Day. I mean, I guess technically it'll still be brand new on Pokemon Day, but I just think it's a little weird they didn't wait one more day. Yeah, I could go for ham and Swiss. Got the immersive guard on your main before the normal one too. Congratulations! I still haven't gotten either of the immersives in the new set. More time on presents for other things. Oh, you know they're still going to talk about it. Let's not fool ourselves. They're still going to be talking about it. They'll be talking about the new set in Pocket. They'll be talking about the Kalos Tour and Go. They'll be talking about some upcoming or current events in Cafe Remix. They'll be... Are they still adding characters in Unite? They'll probably talk about new characters coming in Unite. There will be some new event thing happening in Masters EX. They will talk about the Pokemon Kanto Park or whatever that just opened. Yeah, the new stuff. Oh, it comes out on Wednesday? I thought they came out on Thursday. I don't know. The point is, I'm just surprised they didn't wait till Friday. Is sleep still a thing? Is sleep still happening? Am I a big Go player? I wouldn't say I'm a big Go player. Like, I'll check the sponsor on my house and around work every day. But outside of community days and Go Fest, I don't really do all that much. I mean, I play it every day, but I'm not like constantly playing it. Oh yeah, champions. They okay. So my guess is the 3 big announcements, and I'm kind of putting big in quotes here after what happened yesterday. My guess is the 3 big announcements will be a lot on champions. First and foremost, release date. It might even be shadow dropped on Friday. It would not surprise me. Because we're getting really close to VGC. That's in like less than 6 months. And that's the official, way that VGC players are going to be playing tournaments. They need to drop that now. They will talk about the Fire Red Leaf Green drops. Maybe they'll even announce more games down the road. Or maybe they'll talk about, by the end of the year, the rest of the Gen 3 games. And it will end off with a teaser trailer for Gen 10. We'll get the game names, a release window. It will say winter of 26, and maybe the 3 starters. That's my guess. There's also going to be a lot of fluff. Keep in mind, everybody, keep in mind, and I mean this. I'm not against the Pokemon Company. I'm not against being hyped about stuff, but I try and temper my expectations to reality. This is the 30th anniversary. This is the 30th anniversary Pokemon Presents. That doesn't just mean big announcements of upcoming stuff. That means a big review of the past 30 years. There's going to be a lot of celebratory fluff. There's going to be at least a few minutes of no news, just celebrating the past 30 years. I was pleasantly surprised with the community on how well we as a whole handled the Super Bowl commercial. Because I knew there wasn't going to be anything important in that Super Bowl commercial. It would just be kind of reflecting the fact that Pokemon's 30 years old. And I didn't see many people upset about it, which honestly shocked me. Can I do a short about you, Ruth? What would the short be about you with? What would I have in it? They did that for the 25th anniversary too? Probably. I honestly don't remember. At least one 5-minute highlight video, Brandon? Absolutely. Absolutely there will be. And there's going to be millions of people on the live streams watching it complaining like, oh my god, get to the news, oh my god. It's 30th anniversary. It's a big deal. It is objectively a big deal that Pokemon's been around for 30 years. They're going to be talking about the fact that it's a 30-year-old franchise. They're going to be pulling out some nostalgia. It's not just going to be all brand new news. Blipbug was your first shiny? Nice! I can't wait to get it. It's one of the last Pokemon I need in a one of the last shinies I need in this game in a Premier Ball. Can't believe people thought we would get news during the Super Bowl. I saw some crazy thoughts, Brandon, and it's wild how people will have something in their head that they want, and they will twist what they see to fit that narrative. I saw in more than one place, because I'm assuming, Brandon, you saw the teaser, like the teaser video for the Super Bowl commercial was Jigglypuff in a what do you call that? Like a back, like a backstage room. I forget what you call those. Like you throw like all the celebrities in there before performance. Anyway, Jigglypuff's sitting in there and just singing the beginning of the Jigglypuff song. That's it. That's all it was. A lot of people thought that was hinting towards voice acting in Gen 10. Like, I don't know what sort of mental gymnastics you have to go through to see Jigglypuff in a backstage room singing the Jigglypuff song means we're getting voice acting in Gen 10. I will say this. I do. I'm officially on board. I want voice acting in Gen 10. I want voice acting in Gen 10 so people will stop asking for it. I just want it to be in there so people will be happy and I won't have to hear about it anymore. Lady Gaga for Elite Four member, could you imagine? Voice acting's a wild assumption. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's just I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad if that was their assumption. It's just the link was not there. Like Echoes of Wisdom. Lady Gaga's the next Cynthia. I could see that. Poppy Playtime has a gruesome Chapter 5. You know, I've never played any of the Poppy Playtimes. I just want these kids off my lawn energy. Yeah, basically, Clocky. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with admitting that. I've been an unabashed, unashamed Pokemon mute player for like my whole life. Other than maybe Gen 1. Like, I typically always play Pokemon on mute because I'm usually doing something else. I'm watching a movie or watching a live stream. So I never have, most video games actually, I never have the sound on. So it makes not a lick of difference to me if there's voice acting or not. But a lot of people want it. It's like the most requested thing I ever see. It's one of the top reasons I constantly read that the Pokemon franchise is dying. So let's get voice acting in there so that can stop being something that people complain about. We just want to listen to music. I hear more Pokemon music watching live streams than I do playing, and I do have to say there is some good music. It does have good soundtracks. Do you want a new game to play on my phone? Not at the moment. I have a lot of phone games at this time. I kind of need to take some of them out. I need to get rid of some of my phone games. Why? Do you have a good recommendation? Lag? I'm not seeing anything on my end. Might be on YouTube's end. Do I want the game or no? What game? I still don't know what game we're talking about, Ruth. Oh, Poppy Playtime? No, I'm good right now. Oh, Brawl Stars. Oh, no, I'm familiar with Brawl Stars. It's not really my type of game. Which may solve the nickname problem. What? Me too. I feel like I missed something. You were playing a VGC tournament, you lost 5 attacks because of sleep? What the heck? Slowpoke. Why didn't you wake up? You should always be awake when you play video games. Wow, we were supposed to open up packs like 7 minutes ago. Thing I said before that message. Imagine Lady Gaga comes into the direct to announce sound type is coming. Which may solve the nickname problem. Your favorite goth streamer? Get out of here. I did go through a slight goth phase. Because I was friends with a girl that was like super hardcore goth. And so I tried to be goth for a little bit. I have dyed my hair black a couple times. What's my favorite animal? That's a good question. I don't have an answer. People will complain about the voice acting once we get it. I guarantee it. Just like they complain when we get more character focus, like they complain when we get better graphics. Oh yeah. People will complain about anything. I mean, it's the. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it and end up sounding hypocritical because there are some things I don't like and I make them known. But I also don't make clickbait videos, just disparaging things just because. Hating on something gets you more clicks than praising something. So I don't want to get into that whole discussion. But yeah, there's just you can't please everyone all the time. Possibly doing what Pokemon Masters EX does, which is not fully follow the dialogue but communicate with the protagonist through laughter and slight talks. You know, a lot of the Zelda games are like that as well. At least prior to Breath of the Wild, a lot of Zelda games would have noises. I don't know how else to describe it. They would have noises. Hey! What? Oh! What's up, Shiny Cornholio? 5 more likes to the like goal smash. Thank you guys so much for all the likes. Excited about next weekend, that Kalos tour. Come back and I'm making face noises again. You know me and my face noises, Jerry. I love them. Why do we... You can tell I'm enjoying the hunt. I keep forgetting to stop and open up packs. I feel like I'm back in my groove. It's been so long. It's been 84 years. Let's open up some packs. We're only going to open up 2 packs because I'm saving my hourglasses for the next set. What decided me to do Pokemon? I love Pokemon. Glad to be out there, Scottstar and eggs. Yeah, but we got to go back and do more eggs later on. We need another Corsola, and we need a Diramaka. Got the Mega Blaziken Immersive last night. Congratulations, Jerry. All right, we got Aracuda, Bagon, Galarian Mr. Rhyme, Alolan Grimer, and Slacking. That's a new card. I'll take it. I'm happy. I'm at the point where I'm just trying to finish up the set, the base set. Also, any other, chase cards would be nice. So yeah, I'm at 139 out of 155 now. So I need 17 more cards. What Poliwhirl would you like to be my phone back? That pack wasn't slacking on giving me a new card. Brandon. That's hilarious. What Poliwhirl would I want to be your background? Are there multiple Poliwhirl? We got Vanillish, Pyroar, Roselia, Litwick, and another full art Roserade. It is a nice card, but it's not new for me. Is it true that I had an afro? No, it is not true that I had an afro. But old Nintendo did make an afro version of me. Because he's a jerk butt. Brandon, are we friends on Pocket? I'll happily give it to you. I think that's my 3rd one. I don't know, Ruth. I don't know what all Poliwhirls are on the Google, but I would. You know what I like? Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. I've always liked this classic Poliwhirl stance with his arms raised in the air like he just don't care. Is it Hefty Pocket or is it just Pocket? Yeah, I think it's Chem Pocket. But yeah, that's my favorite Poliwhirl stance. Just got his arms up. He's happy. Also, Jerry got me this for Christmas. How awesome is that? Love it. That reminds me, I got to talk to my dad and find out whoops, wrong screen. I got to talk to my dad and find out what's going on with the gift for Jerry, because now it's kind of feeling like I lied about it. I should have been a fighting type because hefty means able to move heavy things. Anyone remember Hefty Smurf? You love Poliwhirl's gloves? He's fancy. He's fancy with his white gloves. I know it's a stupid thing to worry about, and I'm dumb. I know you don't think it, but like before, when I was down at my parents for Christmas, before I left to come back home, I was like talking to my dad, like, "Hey, can you make this for my buddy Jerry for Christmas?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, let me look around for a good blueprint of that. And then I get home, and Jerry sends me this great gift, and then I'm like, you know, like, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Your gift is on the way. And it just, it almost feels like a whole, like, you know, check is in the mail type thing. I don't like being in that position. Leaf on its head. Oh, I love that. Neat and tidy. That's right. You always like the Poliwrath is just a buff, angry Poliwhirl. Exactly. I mean, legitimately, Poliwhirl to Poliwrath might be like the most, like the slightest evolution. You know, like it doesn't really change that much. He basically gets angry eyebrows and bulks out a bit. It's not a very strong evolution change whatsoever, which is kind of funny. It's just like one day someone managed to tick off the happiest looking creature that ever existed. Dang Zigzagoon, I swear we are gonna find Zigzagoon. You two, I changed what I said earlier. There is a 99% chance we're gonna phase on a Zigzagoon. You to all the new subscribers today. I appreciate you if you're still here, and we do have a sub goal of 2375 today. I'm not sure if we're gonna hit it, but that'd be pretty sweet. Forgot about the Poliwhirl third evolution. You're talking about Politoed. I love Politoed. I don't feel like it belongs in the Poly family. I think it's a great looking Pokemon. It's got a gorgeous shiny. I don't think it belongs in the Poly family. I think it should be its own thing. Politoed does make him happier. It's like you want to choose angry or you want to choose happy. Beyonce's addicted to Marvel Rivals. She's playing as Rogue. Nice. I haven't paid attention in a while to who all they've added. I think the last one I knew they added was Deadpool. I don't know if that's still the newest one. You lost again. What the heck? What are your fairy types levels looking like compared to his? Do you need to level him up a bit? Elsa, that's right. Elsa is the newest one. I remember you telling me about that. That's right. Dang. You know, that was one of the first appearances I still didn't have, and now there's like no chance I'm going to get it. Something gets added to Marvel Rivals, the prices of the comics skyrocket. Which is kind of wild to think about, because the whole idea is like, oh, Marvel Rivals is so popular. Everyone loves this character. Therefore, the first appearance has to cost a lot of money now, because people are going to want it. Yet I have yet to talk to anyone that loves Marvel Rivals that has become a comic collector. Gym Challenge variant. What do you mean by that? Show off a Shrill that stands out. You can't tell because the eyes are red. The tongue will be purple. And I also believe the body changes color slightly. Like honestly, I think the tongue is going to be the most noticeable thing, which stinks because it's not that noticeable. But I think the purple tongue is going to be more noticeable than the body, which I think either changes from like a cream color to a pure white or vice versa. But yeah, the eyes and the tongue change to purple. So since you can't check the eyes, you're going to have to check the tongue. That's a hunt I still need to do. I got to get one more Iggly buff to finish up this dang fairy hole that I'm in right now. I've been stuck in a fairy hole for too long. I'm making a clutch and a 2-gear manual out of Lego for your custom vacuum motor. Very nice, German Aviator. That's cool. Brandon, have you pre-ordered / are you going to get the Lego Pikachu? I was actually watching some review videos yesterday on the Pikachu and the 3 Kanto starters, you know, giant $650 set. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Any weekend plans? Laundry, eating some food, playing some more ZA. Should be a pretty quiet weekend. Hanging out with you guys. I don't know if I'm going to get any of the Lego sets, at least not the current ones. I might get the Eevee. Frankly, just because that one's the most affordable. I think it's only $60. And the fact I'm saying only 60 about a Lego set makes me sad. Thank you all for hanging out here today. If you guys haven't hit the like button already, I'd appreciate it if you, maybe thought about it. Maybe thinking, you know what, maybe I will like this stream. Because that'd be neat. But the Lego Speed Champions Lamborghini Countach from 2022 from a reseller who was, by the way, still in school. Okay. Okay, yep, we're just three likes away from our like goal. That's pretty awesome. You did it! Congratulations, Ruth! Ooh, two blip bugs. Love to see it. Poliwag line in a flood, seen on a leaf, and having shade from a leaf. I love it. That's awesome. You've been shiny hunting sometime. Really slowpoke. What have you been doing if you haven't been shiny hunting? Where you've been like learning things? Getting an education? Taking tests? I'm gonna have some stir-fried chicken for lunch. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know why I said stir-fried chicken instead of chicken stir-fry, but it's gonna have chicken and it's gonna have stir-fried vegetables in it. That's what I know. No shiny bug yet. So the odds on this are 1 in 1365. So this, we could be here for a while, but you know what? I enjoy this a lot more than eggs. I might, if we don't get it today, which honestly is, chances are we won't get it today, I might play around with this. I want to try and set up... Did anyone ever hunt for the Antique Synasty in this game? And if so, are you aware of like the method of like changing all the like the setup of changing all the overworld spawns to Antique Synasty, and then just checking them and defeating them until you run out of Synasty and then resetting? I think I might want to do that with Blipbug. I never did with Antique Synasty. I thought it was an interesting concept for a method. I think I might try it with this. The Countach didn't hurt your wallet that much. It was 25 euros, but the other one you wanted, which was the Lego Speed Champions Porsche 919 Hybrid, that was 60 euros. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you got it for a fairly low price. You know, I'm wondering, because I'm always looking for excuses not to go for the 3-family household. I'm wondering, when Sword and Shield came out, Antique Dynasty was like one of the rarest shinies you could get. Because it was a 1 out of 100 chance of being antique to begin with, plus the shiny odds of 1/1365. So it was like a 1 out of, I mean, what even is that? 1 out of 13,600, no, 1 out of 136,500 chance. But then Scarlet and Violet came along and said, yeah, you can just get a mass outbreak of nothing but Antique Dynasty. It was a lot easier to hunt. I wonder if the next generation that Tandem Mouse and Mouse Hold are in will have a easier way to get the 3-family Mouse Hold. You're back with a new avatar. Nice! Maddie is king of Hefty's Polyworld. My goodness gracious. Let me take a look at this. That is a cute picture of a Polyworld. I like it. Favorite element on the periodic table? Yours is number 92 and 94. And what are those? My favorite is probably oxygen. You never did. It's rare, but it's the only reason to do it. For you, that would have been like hunting for a full set of Shalva female Eevee for every evolution plus the Eevee itself. That would be pretty rare. That would definitely be pretty rare. Ruth, but in the future. I gotcha. Could very well be. It's like how getting a shiny starter in PLA was difficult in the Daybreak update, right? And, I mean, it still was somewhat difficult. Like, a lot easier, but somewhat difficult. Uranium and plutonium. Why are uranium and plutonium your favorite? They go Boom and Boom make mushrooms. So you like them because you are a fan of nuclear war. Welcome back, Mewtwo. Your favorite jokes and awesome powers? There are only two things you can't say in this world: people who are intolerant of other people and the Dutch, right? It's pretty good. It's like the old classic, you know, I hate all prejudiced people. The antique, yeah, exactly. No, I mean, Lacey, I already have it. So I wouldn't go for it again, but I still need to get a 3-family mouse hold that's currently only available in Scarlet and Violet, and I'm just wondering if there will ever be an easier way to get it. They're pretty interesting elements, like why do they lose neutrons in form of radiation? I don't know. What's up, Flo? Welcome back. Isn't it because they're unstable? I do have the 3-segment Dunsparce. That was, that might have been a little bit before your time, Slowpoke. We did that hunt on the stream. At the time, it was my longest hunt ever. As far as odds, I think. So it was a 1 in 100 chance, Slowpoke. We got it on the 238th check. Yeah, Michael Caine was a fantastic casting choice. Yeah, before Slowpoke, those were dark times. Yeah, 238 shiny Dunsparce caught and evolved. That was miserable. Especially when you had scam witches. There were some streams I did where I was lucky if I got more than one check. Took her forever. Yeah, I really don't want to do 3-family asshole. Sounds miserable. It was not good times. And then not soon after that, I went back, not long after that, I went back to Reggie Drago. So, yeah, that was the dark ages on the channel. And the worst part is, at the time, I was like the second longest Dunsparce hunt on YouTube. And shortly after I got it, like 3 other people got it after I did. Like, more encounters. So, not only was it miserable, I didn't even have the clout to say that I had one of the longest hunts. What was the deal with Reggie Drago? You keep hearing about it? You'd like to know more? Reggie Drago, I started hunting. There's actually a video. Like, actually, if you go to my channel, there's a whole retrospective video on it. But the short version is, I started hunting it in the summer, I believe, of 2022. Is that right? It was a few months before Scarlet and Violet came out. Hunted it for a few months until Scarlet and Violet came out. Did all my Scarlet and Violet hunts, and then after we finished with Scarlet and Violet, went back to Reggie Drago. Ended up getting it in, I believe, October of 23. It was 52 3-hour streams. It took 16,840 checks. It drove me so crazy, I bought a second Switch just to dual hunt it. And even then, even after I bought a second Switch to dual hunt it, it took like 4,000 more checks. So for the first like 12,000 checks, I was hunting it one at a time on one Switch. Aqua Teen Hunger Force? I've seen some episodes. I've seen some. I'm familiar with it. I'm not like an expert on it. Makes you appreciate your background, Shiny Drago. You got from the Go Fest Pass even more. Get out of here, Mewtwo. And John Stricker, you get out of here too. Makes you nervous when you go for Drago? No, don't worry about it, Jerry. You'll get it like immediately because I took so long that everyone else is guaranteed to get under odds now. Went 3 times over odds on Tuesdays again to be instantly rewarded with a 5% skitty. I still can't believe you got that skitty. That's so cool. At least Alecki didn't go, yeah, Alecki ended up being like under 2,000 checks. 1 in 4096 ended up being under 2,000. What car do I drive? I have one. How many cylinders, horsepower does it have? I drive a Ford Focus, and I have no idea about the cylinders or horsepower. 16,840 checks, Christopher. 16,840. Over 4 times odds. Jerry's your favorite Reggie Drago streamer? He's a pretty good one. It's bonkers. It was very bonkers. Here's the worst part. This story has gotten a little bit changed over the years as most stories change to myths and myths change to legends. While I was in the midst of this, I would have been probably around 10,000 plus encounters at that point. It was towards the end of July, and a good friend of mine, Mr. Chem Nation, DM'd me and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting my Reggie Drago hunt. Would you mind?" Which he, of course, did not have to get my permission on. I don't own Reggie Drago. Anyone can hunt whatever they want at any time. But I appreciate that he felt the need to. I don't know. I just he didn't have to do it, but it was just nice that he did it. I was like, yeah, dude, like go for it. I hope you get it. So it was Friday, July 21st of 2023. Chem Nation starts his Reggie Drago hunt. And he gets it in 158 encounters. He gets it in like an hour. The reason I know that it was on July 21st, 2023 is it was the day before my birthday. Did I get the Arceus before him? I know I got the Arceus in less encounters. Or I should say in fewer encounters. But did I date-wise get it before him? I'm not sure if... We might have to go to the tape, Mewtwo, and check that. I always thought that he got it before I did. I know it took me fewer encounters, but I thought he actually got it before I did. But yeah, it was the day before my birthday. He got the Pokemon I had been hunting for 9 months. He got it the day before my birthday in less than an hour. German Aviator, I did know what the song Macarena was about. I didn't know anything about Gulf War edits. I don't understand the connection there. Also, I don't believe I could be wrong. I don't believe the lyrics specify a soldier. I mean, it's definitely straight up about cheating on a boyfriend, though, which is wild. It's like Hoopa opened a giant portal and took a giant poopa on me the day before my birthday. It's exactly what it is. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom. Matthew Snyder is in charge while I'm gone. And then when I get back, we are going to play Guess the Plush. Be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Remember we thought Kim's Arceus would be the hunt with the most encounters for a while? Yeah. Baby Blue. I agree, Lacey. I agree. I like Baby Blue. Sure looks comfy. It's pretty comfy. It's surprising because I've had this chair for, gosh, 23 years, 24 years. Mr. Baxter, you got anything cool? Amory, I got one new card, which was the Slacking. So I'm now missing 17 base cards. But that was it. I also got another full art Roserade, but hands off, lady. I already promised that one to Brandon. Gary's gone. Gary is actually watching me right now. Gary's still here. He's just right above the desk. He hasn't taken a shower yet today, so he'd be a little embarrassed to come on stream. Who else hopes we get more regional forms in the next game? I just want new Pokemon. I don't care if they're brand new. I don't care if they're regional. I don't even care if they're convergent. I just want something new to hunt. But before we get to that, I gotta finish get my Shiny Living Premier Dex done. Can we at least get a sneak peek of them? Alright, okay. Hold on. Alright. There we go. Here's Gary. Gary will hang out for the rest of the stream. You Pokemon are always high. Good luck on Living Dex. Thank you very much. I technically am pretty much done with my Shiny Living Dex for now. Until new Pokemon come out. But what I'm working on right now is there are some shiny Pokemon I have that aren't in Premier Balls. And I want to have all the shinies that are possible to have in Premier Balls. I want to have in Premier Balls. Can I hunt Drago and Lucky on the same game? You cannot during. You have to choose one or the other. So, I made, gosh, between the shiny hunting and just the living decks, like the non-shinies, I made so many different profiles for those games. But no, you have to choose between one or the other, Dorian. That's why I'm a great streamer. Thank you, me too. I was wondering what the reason was. Now I know. What a gamer. Matthew, sometimes I think you say things just to make me feel better about myself. How many plush do I have left for Guess the Plush? Oh. I don't know if you didn't know this. I know John Streckert knows this because he's the keeper of the spreadsheet. We've been in round 2 for quite a while. I haven't purchased any new plushes in a bit. I think since the Gen 7 Sitting Cuties came out. So we're on round 2. And speaking of which, let's play Guess the Pokemon plush. This is the part of the stream where you guess the Pokemon whose plush I have right here on my desk. You can't see it, I can. Let me know what it is. You kind of made a dumb purchase yesterday. Uh-oh. What was it? Repeats? Oh yeah, Amory. We've been doing repeats for a few months now. But that's okay because there's so many that no one's noticed. It's not Rowlet, it's not Gary, it's not Celebi, it's not Jotonian Corsola. Maybe in a couple months here I'll pick up some new ones. But like we gotta. It's not like I have like 10, and you guys are gonna notice when we start rotating 10. I mean, I have quite a few, so I think it took us what 2 years to get through them. It's not Aeron, it's not Pineco, it's not Gigantamax, Rapid Strike, Urshifu. Good guess though. Good guess, very close. It's not Dratini. In fact, I said that sarcastically, but I will say Mewtwo. That was very far off, but just like Gigantamax, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, this is a specific form of a Pokemon. Not Dratini, Articuno, not Mexican Coke, not Tauros, not Timber. So, here's how I was going to work with this one. If you guess the correct Pokemon, you win. But if you guess the correct Pokemon and the form, you get 20 bonus cool points. He was ahead of the curve. I agree, Scrubbo. I agree. I think Tom Green was very avant-garde in his day. But yeah, I think a lot of that absurdist humor has become a lot more prevalent nowadays. Not Galarian Meowth, not Unknown H, not Female Foolish, not Alolan Marowak, not Slowpoke. I kind of own every Joy-Con except the Let's Go ones. You got purple-green Joy-Con 2s for your collection. And are you saying that it was kind of a silly purchase because you're regretting it, or because you feel like other people wouldn't understand why you made that purchase? Everyone was talking about Mexican Coke, but not Mexican Pepsi. Is there a Mexican Pepsi? Not Hisuian Zorua, not Spring Deerling, not Male Frillish, not Male Meowstic, not Shiny Castform, not Shiny Hisuian Zorua, not Meadow Vivian, not Cantonian Mr. Mime, not Alolan Sandshrew, not Female Jellicent. I have a feeling you guys are going to be so mad at me. Not Skyform Keldeo, not Male Jellicent. I'm going to have to give you another hint, because I feel like this is turning into a chem situation where you guys are going down one path and you're going to end up yelling at me. Not Marshadow, not Torchic. This is a Gen 7 Pokemon. This is a Gen 7 Pokemon, and this has a specific form. Not Mr. Mime, not Galarian Sunfisk, not Hungry Morpeko. Not Alolan Marowak. Not Alolan Vulpix, not Lycanroc. Not Wishy Washy School, although I love that idea. Not Mr. Rhyme. I understand why. Your instant first be warmed up to the new Switch 2 Way Life. Okay, well then, look, I think it's a cool collection that you're working on, Eric. And if you're happy about it, I'm happy for you. I think that's pretty sweet. I don't really personally see any difference between that and someone that, like, collects tennis shoes. Like, people like to collect what they like to collect, you know, and they can look pretty baller. Not Oricorio, not Alolan Ninetales, not Alolan Diglett. Second clue is Gen 7. It's a Gen 7 Pokemon, and it's a very specific form. Not Oricorio, not Alolan Dustin, not Duskmane, not Dugtrio, not Dawnwings, not Washing Rotom. I only have one Rotom. I need to get more. I just had the regular Rotom. Not Ultra Necrozma. Not Duskling Necrozma. Not Alolan Raichu. Not Minior. Ooh, Minior is a good shout. Not Deoxys. Not Pokeball Magearna. Not Silvally. Good guesses, though. Not Alolan Rattata. Amber, you might know this. You know a lot about the Sitting Cuties. What did they do with Minior? Does it have the brown crusty on top, or do they have different ones with different colors? Not Vikavolt, not Rotom. Good morning, Gina. Not Alolan Meowth. Not Executor. One color and one brown. Okay. Not Partner Cap Pikachu. That's a good guess, though. Alright, I will narrow it down by saying it is not a regional form. It's not an Alolan whatever. It's a non-regional Pokemon that has a specific form. You snuck in, you did, you're a little sneaker. Not Duskmane Necrozma, not Minior Red. Blipbug was your first shiny. Nice, nice. I'm hoping to get the Blipbug here soon. I'm not sure if we'll get it soon, but I want to. Not a Alolan Sandshrew. It's not a regional. It's not an Alolan Pokemon. Alolan. Fill in the blank here. Not Female Salandit. I'm not sure how I would tell the difference on a plush between a female and a male Salandit. I'll let you explain that to me. Not Marshadow with the green flame. Not Dawnwing's Necrozma. Not Type Null. Yeah, you guys are going to hate me. You guys are going to come at me with torches and pitchforks. Not relatable. You wish to do a flip outward mystery thing with Minior, like you can unzip it from the shell and see what color it is. Ooh, I like that idea. Not Duskform Lycanroc. Not Mimikyu Disguise, but Mewtwo. Mimikyu with its little head down is correct. It is a busted disguise Mimikyu. Anne-Marie, you're going to get 75% of the win. And Mewtwo gets 100% of the win. Good job, you two. You said Mimikyu broken, did you? You did say it. Anne-Marie wins. Anne-Marie wins. But Mewtwo also gets points. Ain't no way that's a different form. It is. Broken Disguise Mimikyu. It is a different form, Matthew. No, Anne-Marie, you did. I just missed it. Yeah, there's 2 plushes, and as Slowpoke mentioned, there's 2 forms, disguised form and busted form. So in my mind, it counts as different forms. Yeah, it's considered a form. I mean, it would be considered a. You know what's wild? You would not be technically incorrect, Matthew, if you put it in the same in the same category as Mega Evolutions as an in-battle only form. It is a form that only exists within a battle. Although that's not true anymore with Legends ZA. Yeah, it's like Ice Cube. Ice Cube is another similar example. I'm sure there's a few others too. Yeah, what I just said is absolutely incorrect now with ZA. It used to be you could only Mega Evolve within a battle. Now you no longer have to be in a battle to Mega Evolve. What other ones are there? I feel like there's something. You thought you were on something with Duskmane? We all did. We all thought we were on something with Duskmane. Duskmane, the sitting cutie, looks like a mop head to me, and no one can convince me otherwise. Look up Duskmane sitting cutie. It's Zygarde. Thank you. Zygarde's another one. Yep, in battle only forms. Minior is another one. Minior's always got the brown crusty unless it gets half damage. Wishy-washy, yep, that's another one. There's actually a lot from Gen 7, isn't there? Savalian Arceus. Are they? That's a genuine question. I'm not saying are they, like, you're wrong. I mean, I've genuinely never really used Savalian Arceus. Does it appear like as a regular one until it's in battle and then the coloring from the held item shows up? They have different. Yeah, I know they have different colors based on the item they're holding, but do you only get to see that? You only get to see those different colors in the battle? Yeah, Genesect as well. Yep, with the different drives. They've played out that gimmick, haven't they? Changing the type based off of the item it's holding. Ash Greninja. I suppose. Meloetta Pirouette. True, true. Oh, Keldeo. I don't know if someone said Keldeo yet, but Keldeo's another one. Palafin, yep. Yeah, there's a lot of in-battle only forms. You give it the item and it stays that form until you change the form. Yeah, but I'm saying like outside of battle, does it stay that form? Like if I looked at it outside of battle, would it have the colors of that drive or plate or whatever the other thing is? I can't remember what Silvally gets. Morpeko, yep, Morpeko. Silvally keeps the colors. Okay. All right, so that's not a battle only form. My type null hunt, Mewtwo. It's incredible that you know about that hunt because that was not on stream. That was in my own time. And yeah, I can't remember how long the first one took, but the second one took 10,007 checks. Aegislash, that's another one. Aegislash, yep. 2 different forms, battle only, based off of its ability. I literally played with an Aegislash in ZA, and I still can't tell you how it changes form in ZA with no abilities. I know it does, I just can't remember what triggers it. No abilities in ZA was wild. Especially because I had so many Pokemon that were pretty much defined by their abilities. How does Morpeko work? I just thought about that. I literally caught it for the Dex and didn't do anything with it. How does Morpeko work in ZA? Cramorant, yep, Cramorant, that's another one. Attack turns it into sword form, King Shield turns it into shield form. Is that how it works? Okay. It works good. Thank you, Eric. That's very, very helpful in explaining it to me. I appreciate you. Just changes from blade form if you use physical attacks and Mega Shield form if you use protective technique. Okay, so it's basically offensive versus defensive moves. Tatsugiri. Do they have different forms? Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, I've seen the first maybe 5 seasons years ago. I think the last season I watched was the one that was like the pseudo Seinfeld reunion, where they were trying to make the Seinfeld revival. In double, okay, in doubles, that's why. Yeah, I don't typically do doubles. I thought there might have been something there, but I couldn't remember. I haven't really used Tatsugiri before. That's neat that it has the. So I guess it would be the same form as like the Titan. About the meme. What which meme? That's a good show, but yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it. One of my favorite jokes in Curb Your Enthusiasm, and this is a terrible one. I'm going to apologize in advance. I just think it's hilarious. There's this whole episode where Larry David was told to like walk on eggshells around this one guy because this guy's brother died on 9/11. And so like it kept getting brought up like throughout the episode. His brother died, passed away on 9/11. And towards the end, you find out that he wasn't in New York or anything. That's just the date that he passed. He happened to pass away on that date. But he was telling everybody that his brother died 9/11. And I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious. And there's your once a year 9/11 joke on the Hefty 517 channel. Bob from Bob's Burgers has a cameo in Not Another Teen movie. Does he? Interesting. I'll have to watch out for that next time I watch that movie. I know I was really excited a few years ago when I was rewatching Parks and Rec and he showed up in one of the early episodes. Pardon My French Toast demo is now available in the eShop. What's that game about? Football coach's assistant. Oh, okay. All right. I think I know who you're talking about. I think I can picture it. Not Another Teen movie is a fantastic movie. Oh, we gotta check the. What's it doing? Not shiny. You don't know? You just saw it. I like the name. Gen 10 doesn't give us a better way to hunt Galar fossils. You might have to pull the trigger. I'll tell you what, Matthew. If Gen 10 doesn't give us a better way to hunt the Galar fossils, I will mail you my turbo controller. I will donate to the cause. Because you gotta do it. And you gotta experience it. I got lucky. I got 3 of them very much under odds. I got very unlucky. The 4th one that I needed, I got very much over odds on stream. It's about French toast. I like French toast. Yeah, that's true, Scrobo. I never thought about that. Yeah, if you look at Jamie Presley from the early 2000s, very similar to Margot Robbie. You're right. I also liked her a lot in My Name is Earl. That was a little bit later, I think. I think she was a few years older. I liked her a lot in that, too. YouTube's doing really ticking you off with doing the message thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why it's not sending so many messages. Which is kind of cool. What can you tell what sort of game it is? You know what? Let's just check it. I can't remember if I can have this running in the background, but just in case. Homemade cheesecake. I want homemade cheesecake. Why are you being a butt? Why aren't you? There we go. Now you're connecting. What? The French toast. Not toast. There we go. No. No results found. What? Oh, pardon my French toast. I'm a dum-dum. I'm just gonna look up pardon. Pardon my French toast. Okay, it's a platformer. Okay, this looks like it could be fun. I like platformers. I'm gonna hate that stage. You can taste the diabetes, right? Just imagine like playing this like on a Saturday morning while you're eating delicious breakfast foods. Okay, he's got some muscles. I mean, you can tell there's gonna be a ton of unlockables too. What, the toast? This game may help you eat a lot. Um, huh. That actually does look like it would be fun. That's good to know, JJ. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, no, Eric, I think that looks like a fun game. I'll definitely try out the demo later. I like platformers. Looks like you. I was gonna say that, Mewtwo. I did think that piece of French toast does look very similar to you. Alright, I think we can probably let's shoot for 200. Let's try and get to 200 today. And then before tomorrow's stream, I'll have a new thumbnail made. And I'm gonna try and set up the hunt a la Antique Dynasty hunt, where we're gonna have five blip bugs on the screen. Lost Highway. I still have never seen Lost Highway, but I loved the soundtrack. I specifically bought the soundtrack solely for Nine Inch Nails' Perfect Drug, and then ended up really liking the rest of it as well. Lynch films are... I get confused about them a lot. I think they're so unique and so bizarre, which sometimes I really enjoy, and sometimes I'm just like, dude, just tell a story. Tell a story I can understand. I loved the Twin Peaks reboot or continuation. I love the Twin Peaks miniseries that came out on Showtime like 8 or 9 years ago, but I cannot tell you what happened in it. I loved watching it, but I have no idea what happened in it. Blue Velvet's such a weird movie. I've never been able to look at Dennis Hopper the same way since seeing Blue Velvet. As a reference to Legend of Zelda, since it is the 40th anniversary, what's my favorite type of dungeon in Legend of Zelda? You like the foresty ones because they're so pretty? That's a good shout. The forest ones are good. I typically like the forest ones. I like the fire ones a lot too. And then there's always one that seems to be kind of like dark or shadowy. Like it's not really element based. It's more just like a ominous feeling. Those ones are pretty good too. Twin Peaks, great beer selection and food. Yeah, I've never been to the restaurant. Why is this title called Medusa Hunting? Well, it's Masuda hunting. We were Masuda hunting Galarian Corsola at the beginning of the stream, but we found it. So now we're just doing regular shiny hunting. But MASUDA hunting is when you hatch eggs and one of the parents is in a different language than the other. And that makes it easier to hatch shiny Pokemon. Temple of Time was good? Yeah, Temple of Time was a good one. Light goal hit, nice. I don't know how much higher we're going to get before the end of the stream, but let's see if we can get a light goal of 50. We might be able to hit 50 if we try really, really hard. Light goal 50, thank you so much. Ambiance of the shadowy ones is creepy. That's what I'm saying, Racer. Yeah, and happy 40th anniversary to Legend of Zelda today, 40th anniversary. And take a moment to reflect on all the fantastic and amazing Legend of Zelda anniversary announcements we've gotten from Nintendo. I think we've received as many 40th anniversary announcements for Zelda from Nintendo as we did for Super Mario Brothers. Sorry you disliked... Oh, no worries. Enjoyed Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. I haven't played that one. I haven't played... actually, I can't say I've never played an Indiana Jones game. Old Nintendo, you're probably my only shot at this. You or maybe Big Cheese. Do you remember the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom game on the Nintendo Entertainment System? I had that game. I have no idea. I had no idea how to play it. I don't think I ever got past the second or third screen. It made no sense to me. But I owned it. Did I ever play Spirit of the North? I have not. Is that a good game? Never played that one? It was something. In fact, I might look up a video of a playthrough on that later on just to see how they ended up doing it, like I did a couple months ago with Friday the 13th. Very productive stream day. Wrapped up Pokemon X's Victory Road plus E4. Thanks. Hey, Jerry, good job. I'm very proud of you. I'm also super excited. I have to keep reminding myself this because this feeling is so new to me again. Because it's been so long since it's happened. Today, I got a shiny that I needed for my own collection. I got myself a shiny Galarian Corsola in a Premier Ball. Quest for Glory. I don't remember those. In fact, we'll end the stream with me putting the Galarian Corsola in home. To commemorate the event. Similar to King's Quest. Oh, okay, yeah, I was a big fan of King's Quest. I played a couple of the Space Quest games. My dad let me watch him play Leisure Suit Larry when my mom wasn't home. It's really good with a fox, not gonna spoil it too much. I appreciate that. Once you finish reclaiming all your shines and Premier Balls, Gen 10 will allow us to swap balls on Mons. You say that like I would be angry about it. I will a little bit. But I'll say good news. That means I can put my Celebi and my Nincada and my... Type Null and my Silvally and my Poipole and my Naganadel in Premier Balls. It would be the most happy thing ever. It really would be. Adult Swim of games for Ace 90s, right? Absolutely was. I would love that. See, don't let Chem Nation fool you. Don't let him fool you into thinking that the regular Pokeball, the standard Pokeball, is his favorite ball for catching shinies in. It's not. He just does that because he knows that there's many shiny Pokemon you can only get in Premier Balls, or you can only get in Pokeballs, and he wants everything to match. Can't believe everyone's profile is the name. What? Oh, come on. That had an aura around it, too. I thought... Someone told me in Chem Stream the other day that a Brilliant Aura Pokemon had a 1 in 3 chance of being shiny. Were they wrong? Did they lie? It takes longer to catch Mons in a Pokeball. It takes just as long to catch them in a Premier Ball. I do need a Darkrai in a Premier Ball, and I need an Arceus in a Premier Ball. We will be dual hunting those later on. Yeah, Cherish Balls are pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. If it was possible to get unlimited Cherish Balls, I might want all my Shinies and Cherish Balls. Have any flowers blooming? Not yet. Although we've gotten a lot of rain this past week. Origin Ball is your favorite? That's a pretty cool one. I still need Darkrai and Premier Ball. Yes. What the heck, Pogo? Well, first off, Matthew. With the exception of Meltan, Melmetal, and the roaming form Guinea Pig, I don't count my Pokemon Go Shinies as part of my living dex. But I do, now that you mention it, happen to have a shiny Darkrai in a Premier Ball. But I still want to get it from BDSP. Jeez, have a great rest of your day at work, buddy. You probably already left. You're jealous of that? I think Dorian invited me to that raid. The most legendary shinies I have are from raids I get invited to from Dorian. Well, first off, Matthew, it's like you're getting to know me. It's like Matthew, we're kind of like becoming like an internet married couple. We're not actually married. I understand that. I understand that you have a wife and child. I'm not trying to impede myself upon your family. But on the internet, it's almost like we're husband and wife. Or I guess in this case, husband and husband. We can say that. We can say that. Can you be the internet best man? Jerry, you already are. Alright, Cheese, take care, buddy. Get me to know all about you. Matthew has like a bajillion shiny Darkrai and Pogo? Absolutely he does. He has one for every month of the year. And one for every year of the decade. Second best man behind Jerry? Yeah, you will. Alright, 19 more checks. Let's see if we can get it by 200. 200. 798 unique shines of Pogo? Dang. Oh, John Streckert. I caught enough Sizzlipede to evolve it into a Centiskorch and sent that into home, so I'm now at 821. And I was actually planning on going in this morning to into home and see what all I had to evolve, but my home virtual card was on the other switch and the battery was dead, so I have to wait for it to charge. John, have a great rest of your day, buddy. Warhammer 40k, never played it. Never played it. What's up, Captain Blue? Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. Ooh, another brilliant aura, is it? It is not. It is not shiny. Yeah, we get some regionals where you're in Florida that you needed, so that was when you better have caught extras for me. Captain 007, I do. I do remember. You don't need anything from Calistor except for the Mons that will be debuting. Matthew, do we know yet if shiny rates will be increased? How do I get higher shiny rates for Calistor? Enjoy the lore. I'm not familiar with the lore. I'll have to look into that. Captain, I'm doing well. How you doing, bud? Ticket holder? Okay, but I mean, is that confirmed? Because I think last year the Unova ticket did not give increased odds. Love how we see just Gary's eyes, right? Just hanging out, staring at something on the floor. Gary the goat, you mean snail, right? Catch Esper, catch more Esper, and catch even more Esper. So is Esper like one of your favorite Pokemon, you two? Is that like a thing now? Then you think I'm right. You think I'm right? I was asking a question. Because I believe in previous years, like Sinnoh and before, the ticket did give you increased shiny odds. But I don't think the Unova ticket did. So I haven't bought a ticket for Kalos yet because if it doesn't increase my shiny odds, then there's no point in me getting it. But if it does increase the shiny odds, then I'll buy it. You like the Esper? You just need one of the canes for it? Gotcha. I just didn't know if they had announced that yet. I don't know. You're my go guy. Whenever I have a go question, I bother you. I'm not sure if JJ's still here, but I just saw that JJ's one message today was an unprompted message about poo fiber. It was a good public service announcement. I'm glad we all now know that poo fiber dissolves in water. I timed this pretty well. I'm getting pretty good at estimating things in my brain. I think we're gonna get number 200 right around the top of the hour. I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat my chicken stir fry. And then I'm gonna do some biking in my living room. Oh, hi, it's you, that mod from that one stream I watched for that one streamer. I don't know if you're talking about Shinies, I don't know if you're talking about Kim, but what's up, Typhoon? Happy Saturday to you. Food sounds good right now, right? That's what I'm saying. What are you gonna eat today, Eric? Found me. Sure did, OND. Sure did. Only need the unreleased Calismons, Honedge line, Halucha, Clucky, and Deancey. Oh, shiny, you mean? I was gonna say, I thought I had a Klefki. Yeah, I'm excited that I'll be able to get Halucha and the Honed ones. I don't have those at all yet. Likely not getting Zycard and Volcanion. You don't think so? Are you saying you won't get them or we won't get them? We, okay, gotcha. See those being the Masterwork research? Well, isn't the Masterwork research Diancie? I feel like in the generations that have multiple mythicals, they seem to play favorites. And I don't just mean in like Go, I just mean like across the board. Like they seem to do more with like one of the mythicals than the others. Shinies with the 37 months of membership. What's going on, Shinies? Welcome in. Joining in just in time for the end of stream. Looking all handsome as usual. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for 37 months. Let's get some hype in the chat. MSHMLYLT. Usually, skip breakfast, lunch that Taco Bell brought back street chalupas. Ooh, street chalupas sounds good. Hal protein, I like it. Jerry, how come you never invite me to the Zygarde hunts? We got one more check. Down to? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it would be nice to be invited. Alright, we got one more dang blip bug to check, but before we do, I have a couple of thank yous to make. Thank you to Sarah for rejoining the Poliwag party. Thank you to Shinies for the 37 months. Thank you to everyone for being here, and thank you to the new subs. Old Nintendo, are those lyrics to a Kid Rock song? Do I have a God Path for Zygarde? I do not, because I caught my Zygarde. I just want to help out a friend, that's all. Alright, let's do this last check. Is it going to be shiny? It is not. Get your in the... Do I need more for the forums? Well, I can't catch it though. I mean, I guess I could if I figured out which game I caught it on and catch it on the other one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Or not. Yeah, yes, I do have 2 titles. Stop it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Do something nice for someone today just because it's the right thing to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop that.